Hey there, Abanega Tours family. How's everyone doing? Thanks again for joining us. Hey, today we're here at San Luis Talpa, right? This is San Luis Talpa, is that guy?
Yeah, it's really San Juan Talpa.
San Juan Talpa. Oh, sorry, San Juan
okay.
Talpa. San Juan Talpa.
San Juan Talpa is really part of San Luis Talpa.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
See, now I'm
really
learning. I'm learning here. Hey, we got Gary with us and Jose Carlos. I know Alvarenga Tours always mentioning to you guys that we want to build the house of your dreams and we want to do this, but today we actually have a very specific topic, and we're actually working with professionals that are doing industrial, commercial construction, which is a bit more detailed than residential, or perhaps the same.
It has a lot of there's a massive overlap in these things. There really is. The only difference is that you have, for code compliance, there are some different rules for material uses in commercial and industrial. And generally, the big difference is capacity, because commercial and industrial has things of greater spans typically. But there are exceptions. We've seen lots of residential examples where they're built to a size and scale that's almost comparable to commercial or industrial.
Interesting. That's good information to know. Thank you for that, Gary. Gary, if you can briefly introduce yourself and Jose Carlos, and what do you guys do, the name of the company, and then briefly we're going to talk about structures that are taking place here in El Salvador that were not perhaps being done in the past. And now we have professionals as Gary and Jose Carlos that are coming to El Salvador with what they learn in the States or what they do in the States, and now they're transferring that here. So if you're interested in any commercial, industrial construction, we got the right people for you. But go ahead. I'm talking too much. Go for it.
It's very good. The company is called Structo Biga, and our main concentration is fabricating steel, high span steel and structural beams and framing members that can really open up a space. They're basically used so you can have a wide space without having posts all throughout the middle of a floor span. So,
Now, Gary, how and Jose Carlos, how is this different than what people here in El Salvador are used? The type of materials they used to build versus what you guys are doing, and maybe you can explain us what's going on here in this structure real quick.
So the big difference is spans and heights. Generally, in the majority of construction that you find around this part of El Salvador, there's exceptions, right? Because
correct.
In San Salvador, for example, like I mentioned, you've got buildings of a totally different types that are there. In this zone, the majority of houses are really limited to basically 6 meters of open span. Most framing members are not sold or manufactured much longer than that. And we find, this is where I mentioned in our conversations, that we find it really seems like there's a massive hole between the small residential, limited at basically 6 meters of span, and then between that and the very large industrial commercial. There's not much in the middle. So if you're a business owner who has a space or wants a space, or a homeowner that wants a space that's just a little bit bigger, a little bit wider and taller than typical spaces, there's not much place that you can get that from. Only way to really do it is to have it custom built, or to have it built from industrial materials, which are extremely expensive, almost prohibitively expensive. So we're basically filling that niche open area in the middle where there really isn't anyone serving that smaller market by fabricating and manufacturing beams that are just a little bit bigger, up to much bigger, but for a fraction of the cost of actual I-beams.
Perfect. Excellent. Wow. So you guys are doing something innovative. I would pretty much feel comfortable saying there's some sort of an innovation.
Yeah. We couldn't find it ourselves in the beginning years ago when we were trying to build structures. We couldn't find these beams being manufactured by anybody else. There's not really anyone serving that market. So we realized there's a need there, and we realized we could do it. And that's how we kind of began years ago.
Excellent. Is there anything you want to add, Jose Carlos, to what Gary said?
Bueno, creo que tal vez agregar un poco con respecto a lo que pues haría diferencia a otras compañías digamos de los alrededores, que básicamente hemos trabajado mucho en lo que son los Estados Unidos, él por muchos años, yo básicamente lo mismo. Entonces creo yo que somos las personas más adecuadas para que se les haga algo de que pues esté uno acostumbrado allá. Yo lo digo por experiencia. Entonces, cuando uno viene acá, uno viene prácticamente con una mentalidad muy distinta, o sea, hablando de gabinetes, hablando de, uno está acostumbrado a que se laven los platos adentro, no, no en el lavadero, pero la gente está acostumbrada a eso, esa ha sido nuestra cultura, pero pues los vamos modernizando. Entonces nosotros estamos acostumbrados a eso, o sea, si a unas personas les gusta eso, que imagino que la mayoría, pues creo que somos las personas adecuadas para eso.
Excellent.
Hablando estructuralmente, detalles y todo el asunto.
Excellent. This is it. This is the professionals here to do something commercial, industrial, and residential as well.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to interview Gary and Jose Carlos later on in the future, where they can also handle residential projects.
Yeah.
But our main purpose for this interview today was really structural constructions that are being done in an area where it wasn't being done in the past. And now they have the ability that they're able to innovate this way of doing things, and it's very neat. It's very unique. So this is what we want to also introduce you guys and bring you this information that we also doing it here in El Salvador. So with quality, as Jose Carlos said, and the preference as we have it in the States or Europe if you're coming from other countries, or Canada as well. So I really appreciate the time and the space you've given us, the family of Alvarenga Tours, to be here with you guys. So thank you once again. If you want to invest in anything, and if you want to do a cafe, if you want to do a restaurant, if you want whatever investment you want to do and open a business here, this is really good opportunity to talk to these professionals, get it by them to see if it's something that you guys are interested in doing, and we're going to make sure that you guys come through Alvarenga Tours and get their information, and we're going to get working, because this is the main objective of our channel, to make sure that it's professionally done, good quality, and you don't get scammed. That's the main thing, that you don't get scammed, because we know what's going on in El Salvador, right? So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.